We have satellites up there right now that are taking free photos for the public that any spy agency 50 years ago would have killed for. There are just so many interesting things being recorded about our province and our planet. And we mostly leave them to scientists and engineers to deal with. That's a mistake, because satellite imagery is beautiful. The models we have of our landscape now are amazing. All this stuff should interest everyone, and it does interest everyone once I show it to them. My goal is just to show it to as many people as possible. Like, this is all so cool, and I don't want it to be restricted to just specialists. I'm Alex McPhee. I make maps for a living, and I live here in Val-Marie, Saskatchewan. What actually is cartography? 50 years ago, it involved a lot of engraving plates and busy work and chemicals and pantographs. But with the digital revolution, all that stuff has mostly been thrown away. So nowadays, there are fewer specialized cartographers than there used to be, but there are a lot more people who work with geographic data, who process addresses, boundaries, GPS points. A lot of what I do actually is extremely scientific. I do a lot of digital image processing. So I actually have a degree in geophysics. I was educated at the University of Alberta. I'm grateful for my physics background because some of the skills are actually directly transferable. My first really big project is called Alex McPhee's Province of Alberta. And it has that name because its origin is very personal. I made it during university when I was systematically visiting every county in Alberta. And so the more I traveled, the more interesting stuff I saw. And I thought, well, this isn't on my highway map. You know, someone should be writing this stuff down. So I started writing it down, and like many projects in this vein, it rapidly grew out of control. So, of course, once I was writing down these points of interest, I started plotting them, and then once I started collecting coordinates for these points of interest, I started figuring out how to rank them. And so I think I put probably 1,000 hours into this in the end. What came out of it was the first edition that is actually on the wall behind me right here. So with Alberta out of the way, I'm working on Saskatchewan next. It will have every RM boundary, every abandoned railway, every place any grain elevator ever stood, every reserve surrender. It has all the treaty boundaries. It has every TLE parcel. And it also has all of the small town museums on it that I personally think are above average. One of the things that I'm most specialized in is finding those relationships, deciding, well, at this scale, what is worth showing? It's tough because there are so many things in this province that I want to promote and encourage people to visit because they saw it on my wall map. But the cultural features and the points of local and historical interest, I try to visit as many as I can myself. They're all interesting in their own way, but for a map of the whole province, unfortunately, everything is competing for space. And I promise that the final thing will be extremely entertaining, and it will give anyone dozens of day trip ideas. This is the elevator office. So there is always an office a short distance from the main elevator that would actually be kept in a comfortable state. So business was transacted in the elevator, but it was also done in the office, and actually a lot of socialization happened in the office as well. There are still locals here who remember getting their hair cut in here. I talked to Kathy, and you are good. We don't need this elevator and many others like it are kept alive by groups of local volunteers. So our elevator committee is actually a legal arm of the village. In a larger community, we would be the museum or recreation department. But in a town the size of Val-Marie, we are just a volunteer board tasked with improving the heritage value of the place. We are empowered to fundraise and make various decisions about what these grounds should be used for. We have been managing to do quite a few interesting things because, as it happens, the elevator is really attention-grabbing. We're hoping to have a weekly farmers market, and that is all hopefully going to coalesce into a program of actually getting the elevator open. Any community that has the means to keep its elevator, I think, should be fighting like hell to make sure that happens. Because when they're gone, they're gone. A generation ago, it would have seemed less important because there were thousands and thousands of elevators in Saskatchewan. Now there's 300. And in another 10 years, it'll be even fewer. The old lumber used to make these things is not coming back. The workmanship is almost extinct. This is our architectural heritage. These embody small town Saskatchewan. I am really convinced that Val-Marie is the place. This is a really exceptional community. It gets 20,000 visitors a year, but it has not lost its character.
If you have program ideas that you'd like to see on Max TV Local On Demand, write us at max.local@sasktel.com.